Hound. A malformed humanoid thing that looks like it vaguely remembered how to be human but decided it wasn't worth the trouble. Have you ever looked at a stray dog that's just a little too thin, a little too twitchy, and thought, that thing is either going to lick my hand or eat it? That's the hound, except strip out any warmth, any semblance of being a mammal, and replace it with the uncanny cruelty of something that looks like it's trying to crawl out of your nightmare and into your ribcage. These freaks are the toddlers of the backrooms, except instead of crying when they're hungry, they sprint at you on all fours with the kind of fervor only meth addicts or demons can muster. They're not intelligent in the chess-playing sense. You won't find a hound studying Nietzsche or organizing a union, but they're terrifyingly clever in the cornered animal sense, which is arguably worse. They wait, they listen, they salivate at your panic like it's their dinner bell. And when they decide you're vulnerable, when your flashlight flickers, when your ankle twists on the moldy carpet, that's when they pounce. The real psychological horror isn't their bite or speed, it's the thought that these things used to be people. That means failure in the backrooms doesn't just equal death, it equals downgrade. Imagine slipping into insanity so deep that your brain signs the lease on a new body plan, one that's permanently crouched, slobbering, teeth too sharp for comfort. Humanity was optional, and you lost the subscription. And let's not pretend they don't represent something primal. The raw hunger of everything you try to suppress. That little part of you that would claw through drywall just to taste survival. The hound is your shadow self on all fours, and buddy, it's starving. Skin stealer. A parasite wrapped in human cosplay, wearing your loved ones like thrift store costumes. Okay, picture this. You're staggering down a fluorescent hallway that smells like damp drywall and regret. And suddenly, a person appears. Relief, right? Civilization isn't lost. Maybe you're saved. Except the person moves like the video buffering on bad Wi-Fi, and their skin looks about one wash cycle away from sloughing off the bones. That's when you realize you've met a skin stealer. The single worst advertisement for dermatology in the multiverse. They wear skin. Not metaphorically, not goth poetry skin, real, peeled, human flesh stretched over something that was never supposed to walk on two legs. And here's the kicker. In the dim light, they pass. You could mistake them for your best friend, your brother, maybe even your mom if you're particularly unlucky. They mimic voices too, which means you can't even trust the sound of home. The horror here is psychological violence at its most intimate. It weaponizes your memory, your bonds, your need to believe you're not alone. They know you're lonely. They feast on that loneliness. Every, "Hey, it's me," that leaks from their mouth is a gamble. Do you hug or do you run? Either way, it ends badly. And the skin never fits right. It's like a suit that doesn't understand tailoring, too loose at the joints, too stiff at the neck, and the eyes give them away. Because nothing, no matter how talented the disguise, can fake the spark of actual living. In a way, skin stealers are comedy, dressed as tragedy. They're the world's worst improv actors. Yes, and with a touch of cannibalism. The cosmic prank is that you want connection, but the connection wants your skin. Smilers, shadows with Cheshire grins carved in neon, the punchline of hell's own joke. The word smile is supposed to comfort you. Smiles are for babies, for photographs, for those rare moments when existence isn't actively trying to shred your psyche. And then the backroom said, what if we ruined that word forever? Enter the smiler, a creature that doesn't need a body, a face, or even a motive. Just a set of luminous teeth hanging in the black like a glowing gotcha. These things live in the dark, which is basically their home turf. They don't chase you through light. They wait in the shadows like predators who've been told patience is the highest virtue. You don't see a smiler. You see the outline of a grin hanging there, suspended in void. And every instinct in your spine starts screaming, that smile is not for you. That smile is not friendly. That smile wants bone marrow. There's something psychologically nuclear about turning the universal symbol of kindness into an omen of doom. It's like discovering laughter means war, or that hugs are fatal. Smilers are the Backrooms way of rewriting the dictionary word by word until nothing means what it used to. And oh, the grin never shifts. It doesn't widen when you approach. It doesn't fade when you flee. It's just constant, like a billboard in the void advertising the death of your hope. Some say if you stare too long, it follows you back, imprinting in your head like a cursed screensaver, which means even after you escape, you close your eyes and there it is, 30 perfect teeth shining with the joy of someone else's suffering. It's not just a monster. It's the cruelest joke. What if happiness itself was a predator? And every smile you've ever trusted was just the rehearsal for this one. Facelings. Empty people. Mannequins pretending to be alive. Do you remember that uncanny valley feeling you get when a wax figure almost looks human, but not quite? Multiply that by 10,000, give it legs, and let it walk alongside you in silence. That's a faceling. They're human-shaped, sure, but their faces are wiped clean like a corrupted save file. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. Just blank skin where identity was supposed to be. And here's the worst part. Most of them don't even attack. They just exist, standing in office cubicles, sitting in break rooms, wandering corridors like commuters who forgot their stop. The sheer normalcy of their actions makes you question everything. If they're not attacking, does that mean they're harmless? Or does it mean they're waiting for the exact wrong moment? The kind of psychological torment only something eerily still can provide. But don't get comfortable. Some facelings do turn violent. You can't tell which until it's too late because facelessness has stripped them of empathy, expression, warning signs. It's like talking to a poker player whose cards are just skin. Imagine trying to gauge intent in someone whose face is literally deleted. They embody one of humanity's biggest anxieties, the loss of identity. Because without faces, what are we? Just meat puppets with office jobs. And maybe that's the punchline. Maybe the Backrooms made them to parody us. Blank faces, endless halls, meaningless tasks. Are the facelings monsters, or are they just mirrors, showing you how easy it is to dissolve into nothing when life strips your purpose away? Death moths. Harbingers of suffocating light, fluttering horrors that make fire look merciful. Oh, sure, call them moths if you want, but that's like calling Cthulhu a squid. The name is a scam, a comforting euphemism to lull you into thinking you're up against something you could kill with bug spray. But the truth? Death moths are the flying nightmares of the Backrooms, big enough to block light bulbs with their wings and sharp enough to make you regret ever owning a lamp. The smaller ones, harmless, allegedly, just buzzing things that irritate you, whispering reminders that you're not alone in the dark. But then there are the giants, the ones whose wingspan is large enough to shadow entire hallways. They don't just flutter around, they hunt, drawn to your light sources, your flames, your pathetic attempts to hold on to visibility. And when they find you, they don't politely flap away. They smother, they overwhelm. They turn your desperate flashlight into a funeral candle. There's a savage irony in creatures that are both enslaved by light and simultaneously weaponize it. They embody obsession, the self-destructive attraction we all have to things that will burn us. Death moths are addiction with wings, compulsion in its purest form. They will follow the flame until it kills them, and you'll be collateral damage in their suicidal devotion. So you snuff out your light, but then you're in the dark, aren't you? And in the dark there are smilers. Choose your poison. Moths in the light, smiles in the dark. Survival in the Backrooms is nothing but a terrible menu, and every entree tastes like fear. Clumps. Amalgamations of limbs, grotesque assemblies that forgot what a body should look like. If there was ever proof that the Backrooms isn't random but sadistic, it's the clump. A pile of arms and legs fused together into one organism, crawling like a desperate centipede made entirely of severed body parts. No head, no torso, just appendages clawing and grasping, pulling themselves forward in a constant flesh-knitting nightmare. Every culture has its forbidden image, and the clump is basically all of them in one. Imagine a Renaissance painting of hell where the artist just stopped bothering with torsos. The sheer biological chaos of it offends your nervous system. We are hardwired to recognize a person, but the clump is a parody of that recognition. It's a glitch in the simulation of flesh. The arms reach for you. Not because they're malicious, though they definitely are, but because reaching is the only thing they know how to do. Fingers flexing, nails clawing, palms grasping at the air like drowning men who never learned how to stop drowning. There's no coordination, no central control, just a meat hive with one instinct: drag itself toward you. And here's the psycho-comedy of it all. You can outrun them. They're not fast, they're not smart, but the horror doesn't come from what they do, it comes from what they mean. The clump is humanity without a brain. Just endless grasping hunger. And if that doesn't feel like a metaphor for every bad crowd you've ever been in, then congratulations, you've never been in a nightclub at 3 a.m. They are absurd, pitiful, and terrifying. You don't scream because you think they'll kill you, you scream because they show you how easily flesh becomes meaningless when order collapses. Wretches. Human survivors who snapped so hard they turned into predators. There's a special kind of monster that hurts worse than any cryptid, because you can't shake the thought, that could have been me. Wretches aren't some alien mutation or bug-eyed nightmare cooked up in a cosmic lab. They're people. We're people who lost every ounce of sanity to starvation, thirst, and the endless looping geometry of the Backrooms until their nervous systems just defaulted to beast mode. They don't just eat you, they eat everything. Wallpaper paste, soggy carpet, electrical wires like they're pasta strands. Then, when desperation peaks, they turn to human flesh like it's the obvious next step on the menu. Every wretch you see is a cautionary tale, a story of someone who thought they were strong, resourceful, a survivor, until the Backrooms quietly ate their humanity from the inside out. And here's the kicker. They look like us, still humanoid, still vaguely recognizable, but broken. Skin gray with dehydration, mouths shredded from chewing whatever filth they could find, nails grown jagged from clawing walls. Their eyes carry no narrative, no spark, just hunger, eternal and directionless. They're the hound's smarter cousins, maybe even their evolutionary midstep. The tragedy is they are both predator and victim. You can't look at one without wondering how long it will take before you start tearing at the wallpaper too. Because the Backrooms don't kill everyone instantly. Sometimes they keep you alive just long enough to watch yourself unravel into something you swore you'd never become. So, are wretches terrifying? Absolutely. But what's worse is they're proof of concept. Proof that survival here doesn't end in triumph. It ends in you. Drooling in the dark, gnawing drywall, no longer even remembering your own name. Partygoers. Eternal birthday clowns who kill you with joy. Ah yes, the single most deranged joke the Backrooms ever told. Partygoers. Imagine stumbling across a brightly decorated room. Balloons, streamers, cheerful little notes scrawled in childish handwriting. Relief washes over you because maybe, finally, this place has something whimsical, something harmless. And then they show up. They look like people dipped in latex, permanently fixed with grotesque smiling masks, jittering like marionettes on invisible strings. They don't speak, they giggle. They don't walk, They prance, and their one obsession? Parties. But not your kind of party, their kind, where the balloons are made of stretched skin, the cake is flavored with bone marrow, and you are the entertainment. They don't just kill you, they celebrate you. Every stab, every capture, every ritualistic game is dressed in confetti and laughter. Partygoers weaponize joy, twisting celebration into ceremony. They'll sing songs in your honor while they drag your screaming body into the dark. It's not violence to them, it's hospitality. You're not a victim, you're a guest. And here's where the psychological devastation lands. They know exactly how absurd they are. The uncanny slapstick, the grotesque parody of childhood innocence, that's deliberate. They want you to laugh nervously, to doubt your own fear, to wonder if maybe it is just a joke. But the punchline is always the same. Blood on the carpet, laughter in your ears. The partygoers are the final insult. Not hunger, not despair, not madness, but forced fun. Because nothing is more horrifying than having your suffering turned into a festival, your death into a joke. They are the nightmare at the end of the clown's smile, and the birthday you never wanted but cannot escape.